Hi there, I'm going to introduce your calculator to you. First we're going to start with the different types of models. There are actually two models for the same calculator. Okay. This one is the TI 30X 2S. And the other model that we require for the class has a B over here. The only thing that letter stands for is the type of power source. S stands for solar, B stands for battery. This model is solar, and here is the power source right here. Okay. Secondly, let's go ahead and start with the basics. Turning the calculator on, turning the calculator off, okay, and clearing your entries. Okay. Firstly, to turn the calculator on, you just press the on button. And this shows up. This is where you're going to start making your entries. Okay. To shut your calculator off, you need the second button. Okay. The reason you need your second button is because the command is sitting on top, above a button. So you press your second key. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little itty bitty second that shows up on the bottom left of your screen. That lets you know you've successfully pressed this button. When you press the on button again, now your calculator is off. So I'm going to turn this back on. Okay. As you can see, I've got a little arrow sitting right over here. It's teeny weeny. What that means is that I have previous entries in this calculator. I can use my cursor buttons, up, down, left, right. I can use the up button to see what else I've entered. See that? That's pretty cool. I wanted to show that to you because once I clear the memory of this calculator, you won't be able to see those anymore. There are two ways to clear your calculator's memory. One is to hit the on screen first, or the on button, and then the clear. When you hit these at the same time, the memory is cleared. To clear this wording, just hit the clear button again. That's it. Another way to clear your memory is to use this reset command. That's in blue. It's sitting above a key, so we need to press our second button first. Second, I've successfully pressed that key, and then reset. Now it's going to ask me, are you sure you want to reset this? Well, yes, I do. So I'm going to use my right cursor button to underline the Y, and then I finish the command by pressing enter. There it is. That's how you turn your calculator on, turn your calculator off, using two buttons to maneuver through your materials and clearing your memory. The next thing I want to introduce to you are your value keys, your numbers. Okay? This calculator pad has white keys right in the middle. These 12 keys are all about numbers and values. The 0 through 9 are the digits. This dot right here is a decimal key. This key, the one in parentheses with what looks like a minus in the middle, that actually stands for negative. These keys right here are your operation keys: division, multiplication, subtraction, addition, and equals. The most important thing to remember is the difference between the minus key, which is subtraction, and the negative key, which is a value. Okay? So in other words, you don't want to say -6 by doing this. Your calculator won't be very happy with that. What you want to do is make sure that you differentiate between your negative key and your minus key. Okay? 6 minus 9. Notice how I put that in. I didn't use the minus key. The calculator's not going to know what I wanted to do with that. However, 6, oh, this is interesting. Look, it's blinking over there. That must be what the mistake is that I made. So I can hover over that and press the key I initially intended to do. 6 minus 9 equals -3. That's pretty cool that the calculator will help me with that. The next thing I want to talk about is what happens if I make a mistake. Okay. I typed the wrong button. Let's say I want to take 137 and multiply it to 229. So I go into my calculator and I accidentally hit 437. Well, I didn't want that 4 in there. I wanted the 1 instead. Well, instead of clearing everything and starting all over again, what I can do is I can use my left cursor button, back up to that 4, and press my 1 key. When I hit enter, now I have the correct answer. One of the great things too is because I get to see my entries, I can always double check to make sure that I entered my digits correctly. Double checking is always a good idea. That is an introduction to the fundamental commands of your calculator. On, off, the second command, your cursor keys, and clearing your memory on top of your operations and your values. I hope this helps, again, with just a little bit on how to use your calculator.